Good morning. This is Robert Goodman here on Positive Stroke, staying clean. And I'm so happy to be a part of your recovery. I'm so happy that you are here so we can talk about recovery. Did you know that you are your own hero? You. Because you decided that you didn't want to get high no more, that you was tired of that lifestyle, that you kept doing the same thing expecting different results and it hasn't worked out for you. You decided to give up, not to fight the situation anymore. Yes, you are your own hero. How you overcome your past situations, accepted the part that you played in the situation, what you did to contribute to the situation that has happened. That you finally look honestly and openly at what part you played in it, and you can see that it wasn't totally all your fault. That a lot of your reactions are from reactions of others and what has been done to you. You get to understand that addiction took you down a road that you knew nothing about, that it made you make choices to want more, more, and more. But as you suffered in your active addiction, you came and became your hero by saying, I'm not doing this anymore. I am not doing this anymore. I'm looking for a better way of living. And you chose recovery because it was freely offered to you. And as you entered into recovery, you found out that there's a lot of people just like you. And you don't feel ashamed anymore because there are somebody, people that are like you, suffering in active addiction, that wants a new way of living, that gave up power and says, my way is not working. I need to try something new, and I'm going to try recovery. I'm going to do what's suggested of me in recovery. And as you clean the wreckage of your past, as you look at yourself honestly and openly, you get to see the person you was that you do not like, that you do not want to be a part of. How addiction clouded your judgment of seeing yourself, and just how bad addiction has taken you. You get to see the damage that was done to you to cause you to be in active addiction, the damage you've done to others because you was in active addiction. You get to separate both situations honestly and openly. You begin to look at yourself and don't like the person that you was, which causes you to change your behavior on who you are. When you look at the people that you've harmed, the loved ones, tears come to your eyes, remorse. You want to make amends to these people, and you do so. But recovery warns you that just because you're making amends to people doesn't mean they will accept you again. I'm here to tell you that the amends that I've made and the lack of connection with those I would like to make amends and have a connection with are non-existent, which caused me to continue on building my own way of living my life, because basically after addiction I didn't have a life. And I built the life that I have today. I'm still hated by a lot of people. I'm still disliked by a lot of people. But I can't allow that to cause me to live without peace and happiness. Recovery taught me I have no control over people, places, or things. I have no control over what people feel about Robert and how they hate Robert and why they don't want to have nothing to do with Robert. I have no control over that. I can't wallow in self-pity because the people that I love don't accept my apology, don't accept my sincerity from the heart, that I'm sorry that what I've done to them. They don't care and they don't believe me. So I must accept that those that I love don't want to have nothing to do with me. I must live with the fact that my mother was in the ground 3 months before I found out she was dead. I must live with that. The pain that addiction has caused my life, I have to live with it one day at a time. Why? Because there are going to be people that will never forgive you for the things that you've done. You will never have that connection that you would like to have. But recovery teaches you how to live with the pain that you caused in active addiction. It teaches you to feel, let it go, feel, let it go, share, feel, let it go, until the pain gets lesser, until you learn the wisdom of understanding of recovery. Recovery teaches you you have no control over people, places, or things. You have no control over what people think or feel about you. But recovery also taught you that, remember where you was in active addiction? Remember how you fought to get out of active addiction? That you chose recovery? You gave up power and moved into recovery. Yes, you're your own hero. Because everybody else counted you as a dope fiend. You were through. They didn't want to have nothing to do with you. And loved ones didn't want to see you kill yourself on the installment plan. Yes, you are your own hero. You got yourself out of muddy waters into clear lakes and clear oceans of life. You built a life for yourself. You become a productive member of society, where society still looks at you as a doping because you're honest about sharing where you came from and who you are today. I have sound respect for a person sharing who they are, where they came from, and who they are today. Why? Because they're not hiding anything. They're being genuine. They're being honest, productive persons of society. And they have the compassion for others because they understand pain. They understand neglect. They understand addiction and where it has taken them. That's why you have so many people come from active addiction into the helping people in recovery. They go to school, learn more about addiction so they can help their fellow brothers and sisters in active addiction to come out of the hell that they've experienced in their life in their past. Yes, they're heroes because they're willing to shine openly and honestly with the public. For me, I know if I ain't shared the pain of addiction, if I didn't share being stuck in it for 40 years because I wanted to do it my way, expecting different results, and keep going down the rabbit hole, keep going down the rabbit hole, keep going down the rabbit hole, that I get tired of that lifestyle, that I tried something different. And my life has gotten so much better. So much better. Yes, you are your hero. Your own hero. Because you're willing to give up control to find a new way of living for yourself. You're willing to find out what will work for you and what will not work for you. What you need to do for yourself and what you should not do for yourself. Because you learned that the only way that you can get clean and sober, the only way that you can live your best life is to work on yourself, to pay close attention to your actions and deeds, so you know exactly whose fault it really is on the decisions that you've made. I hope what I shared with you makes you think, say, I ain't going through that situation anymore. I'm not experiencing that pain anymore. I've had enough. I've had enough. I choose recovery. And I don't care what people, places, or things think about me because recovery has made my life better. And it gets better each time as long as I keep the focus on myself. Why? Because I am an imperfect person. I know that. And I must pay close attention to myself so I don't hurt myself by making mistakes. Because Robert doesn't blame people for his mistakes. He just changes his behavior and learn from his mistakes to make his life better. I hope you do the same. But remember this, you came from active addiction into recovery. You're building a life for yourself in recovery. Yes, you are your own hero. You're learning to make yourself better by keeping the focus on yourself. Yes, you are a hero. And you have a story to share with those that are trying to recover. When you share your story, what you've been through, how you got to the other side in recovery, your story is going to save somebody's life. Somebody's life. Somebody's going to listen to what you said. They're going to connect with it. They're going to feel it in their heart and in their minds. And they're going to change their behavior because they heard your story, your walk, that you wasn't ashamed to share your strength and hopes. There's a saying, you're as sick as your secrets. If you're trying to cover up everything, you have no time to keep the focus on yourself. And you will not live your best life. This is Robert Goodman from Positive Stroke, wishing you a great day. And remember, you are your own hero because you did the work in recovery. You have a great and wonderful day.